Welcome back to Nightcap Chat, the pop culture podcast. We talk all things comic books, video games, movies, TV shows, and more. Today, CJ from Views from the Ceiling Fan podcast joins us to talk Invincible, anime, movies, and video games. I'm Blade O'Neill, and before we dive into it all, I just want to thank you all for taking the time to listen, like, share, and subscribe. Nightcap Chat just had its 100th episode last week. And without you guys, this wouldn't have been this successful. So thank you all so much for your support. So it's just me right now because this episode's a little different. And the way we planned this was different than how it turned out. You know, last week's episode, I think, clocked in 2 hours and 40 minutes. It was crazy. It was crazy. We were shooting for a lot less than that. The Ex-Wife podcast joined us. But we also had CJ from Views from the Ceiling Fan podcast joining us. That the episode was so long, I couldn't keep both. Like there's no way I could have. The episode would have been 4 hours. But because of the interview and the conversation we had with CJ when he joined us, we thought it would make for a good episode of Nightcap Chat because it gives us an opportunity to talk about the new Invincible show, which was the main thing. I still haven't seen it, but Ken and CJ have been watching it, so we talk about that a little bit. So since this interview was nearly an hour, so I think it's a little under an hour, we decided to make it its own show. So we'll be cutting to that in just a second. Those of you who have listened to the last episode 100, my gosh, it was so much fun. And just once again, want to say thank you to all the listeners. Thank you to Ken and Lance for joining me on this wonderful journey. And thank you so much to Steve. Thank you for putting all that together for us. Like, I mean, I had no idea about any of that, really. I just kind of had an idea like, hey, you know, you want to just kind of, you know, sort of just interview us in a kind of Nightcap Chat related way. That was all I said, because he had mentioned doing something similar in the past. So I just asked, and that's how that all happened. So yes, Steve, thank you again so much for that. And thank you to listeners, Lance, Ken, and all of our wives for letting us do this, you know, and supporting us in these silly escapades, you know. But yes, without further ado, Ken and CJ will be joining us in this interview in just a second. This was pre-recorded, so we're going to cut to that right now. CJ is joining us from the Views from the Ceiling Fan podcast. Thanks for joining us.
Yes, sir. You're absolutely welcome. Thank you so much for having me. I was so excited. Yeah, my dad actually called me and then told me to call you. And I was like, why didn't we just, you know, the first conversation threw me, but nah, it's all good. I was really excited to hear from you. And then I gave you a call immediately. I was like, dude, I'm so hyped, bro. I haven't seen your face, your glorious beard that I've tried to grow, and I cannot, man.
You can do it. You have the genes. I know that.
I hope so. I can't do right here. This is the problem. There's cheeky areas.
Yeah.
There's starting to get there.
There's vitamins and stuff. You can do it. Yeah.
They make the supplements. We're good.
That's all good. If you haven't figured out from that intro, CJ is my cousin, but he does a little podcast called Views from the Ceiling Fan, and I think we started that around the same time.
It was
very close.
Yeah, very, very close. Yeah. And then I forgot your exact date. I think mine's like April 20 something or what. I don't know.
That is close because ours is in April because we just had our 2-year anniversary that we just like completely glossed over that. We were so focused on episode 100, we forgot like 2-year anniversary.
2 years. Let's go. So wait, does that mean mine's been for 2 years too?
Yeah,
Jeez, that's crazy.
We did it.
Yeah, I don't even remember what my first episode even was. Like, do you remember anything about like your first couple episodes at all, or for you guys, or?
Do you remember, Ken?
Man, dude, I want to say, oh my gosh, dude, that's a good question. What did we talk about the first couple episodes?
So episode 1
it was comic reviews we were doing, weren't we?
So when we started, pop culture was crazy, man. We were gearing up for. Wait a second. Am I wrong here? No. We were gearing up for Infinity War.
I was about to say, was that like the Infinity Saga era and everything like that?
It was like 2-3 weeks before Infinity War.
Yes.
And I, I don't want to be negative, but I didn't like the Captain Marvel movie, so like we skipped that week, and I didn't want to start on a negative note. Okay. You remember? And that was the last movie before Infinity War, right? I'm pretty sure.
Mm-hmm.
But I mean, between that going on and there was something else. I think
it was Captain Marvel.
Mm-hmm. But so episode. See, here's the thing: we didn't start naming our episodes until episode 9. So episodes 1 through 8 are episode 1, 2, 3.
8. Yeah.
Besides Infinity War, there was something else going on. Was this it? Oh! What am I thinking? Was it Star Wars?
That may
Star
have
Wars
been
came out that Christmas, right? Was Star Wars coming out that Christmas?
Gosh, there's something big. There's something big I'm not thinking of.
I was about to say, I know a lot of stuff came out. Yeah.
The trailer. It must have been the trailer. Or no, because that would have been, who knows, whatever. Infinity War was going on. So like that was like the big start. Like we talked about like our hopes and dreams, what we really want out of it, what's Thanos going to do? We want Death to show up. We want Adam Warlock, But I mean, we got what we got. I see your name is Thanos, so I mean that impacted you a bit.
Yeah, man. I mean, I texted you or Facebook messaged you those many moons ago with the first Avengers, and I asked you, I'm like, dude, who the F is Thanos? Who's this big purple guy just smirking at the end of Avengers? And I got this whole thing, and then after you sent me that, I became obsessed, and I saw him on screen. I was like, dude, this guy is badass. My wife hates me for it because she's like, you always love the evil villains, all the people who kill like good guys. I'm like, how can you not like Thanos? This huge titan, like he just looks sick. So naturally, like everything that I do on like Discord, on Valorant, like everything is Thanos.
I love
that, man.
I love that. We just had a conversation about Thanos on. Oh, wait a second. No, I'm wrong. This is episode 100. Next week's episode, we will be talking about Thanos somewhere.
Nice.
Next week's episode. We pre-recorded it. We recorded 2 episodes. Episode 101. We have a nice Thanos conversation. We'll leave it at that.
I'm excited.
As to not spoil anything for the listeners there, but Thanos is great. As far as usernames for me, you're probably a little too young to remember this, but closer to the dawn of the internet, like AOL and all that stuff, Yahoo had some stupid games, and my Yahoo username, so I could play the stupid pool game that I had, was Thanos the End.
There you go. Nice. There you go. It always comes back. He's inevitable, baby. He's inevitable.
No, I dig Thanos. I just wish they had the relationship there with Death.
I remember you talked heavy on that. I don't mean to stay on the topic there, but I remember that was like a really big like thing with the character, and then I was like, all right, well, we didn't get really much of that.
No. And I don't understand why. But that's okay. Maybe she'll still come.
It's another episode,
Yeah, 100%. I love Death, and I wish I had more of an opportunity to talk about
character.
The character. Yes, the character, the Marvel character Death specifically. Yes. Gosh, what a weird sentence out of context. I love Death.
That's great.
So, like we were saying, CJ does a podcast with his friend, views from the scene of fans. So before we get into some fun or some more pop culture talk, why don't you tell us all about the podcast? What's it about? Why should people listen?
Yeah, it's definitely just a leisure podcast. We talk about like legitimately, it changes every day. We might roll back into something that we touched upon last week, but towards the end of the episode or something like that. But we're really just there to, just shoot the breeze, chat with each other, catch up, because I think a real big thing for me starting the podcast was just being able to connect more. Because as you get older, you work more, you got to do this, you have more responsibilities, and being able to see, one of my best friends who was my best man at my wedding every day, or every week, whatever it was when we would record, it felt really good. And I just kind of wanted to, bring a good energy, a good vibe, because I think we, combat each other well or whatever. Like I'm more energetic, excitement. He's like down to earth, like chill, bro. It's all good kind of deal, So it's good. Yeah. We talk about, it changes, sometimes we dip into some Marvel, sometimes we dip into Star Wars, pop culture, what's trending on Twitter right now, some like stupid video that we saw. It's just like, weird stuff with OnlyFans. It's like, damn, people making so much money on that. You know what I mean? Like it changes. We're just, crazy like that. And that's kind of where the name comes from.
So it's
like, we're just nuts.
So like pop culture, I guess in general,
yeah,
but a little different than the way we do it, I suppose. Cause I have watched it a little bit. And like, it's a little less to me, and tell me if I'm wrong. It seems a little less specific. Cause like we're there with like comics, movies and video games.
Yeah.
And you guys, I mean, we go off the rails, but pop culture for you guys, it's more, gosh, what am I trying to say?
I would say we're just, I think you hit the nail right in the head there. Just not as specific. You know what I mean? Like in the beginning, I kind of was like, all right, well, what do you want to talk about today? You know what I mean? Like, what do you want to, what's the topic, the main thing, conversation, whatever. And my friend Kenny goes, I don't know. Let's just talk. That's the best thing, bro. Just hit the play button. Let's see what happens. I'm like, okay. So we just kind of started doing that. And, it was weird. Like when we were consistent, I think maybe, I don't know. I would have to look, but maybe the last 6 or 7 episodes got like 400 views or something like that, like awesome. 500 views. And then I got married, took a little like a week and a half hiatus. And then I come back, post the first 2. It's like 15, 20. I'm like, all right, let's go. Yeah. Right back where we started.
Consistency is key. Well, hopefully this helps, because we'll be posting those links in the description here of this episode. What I really find interesting is when you are approaching the idea of what the podcast should be and how it's perceived. I find a lot of similarities to the way we approached Nightcap Chat, because a nightcap is something you have at the end of the night to wind down, whatever that age appropriate beverage may be. Our goal was just to have something like we could break away from the stresses of life, like everything seems so serious and whatever. And so that's like we don't want to bring politics into Nightcap Chat, like you just want it to be just positive, like
fun. I got
what Marvel movie, like what movie, a TV show, a video game, like it's all good. It's just a positive, easy listening conversation. And like it is organic conversation. We want it to be organic conversation, and we hope the listeners feel like they're a part of the conversation. And of course, if you are sitting here listening, like we always encourage, what are your thoughts on what we're saying on Facebook and Instagram?
Encourage conversation,
and I guess Twitter.
Right? Yeah.
We'll check Twitter once a week until it's more active, but we're not going to do it. I don't want to put the effort into it.
I feel you on that one. I used to yell at my friend Kenny. I would be like, dude, we got to post to Instagram. We got to post.
Mm-hmm.
And every time we posted, like, we got a couple more, views, comments, whatever it was. But like all the videos or, whatever shows, episodes that we put up with very little, like no advertisement at all on Instagram, social media, those were the ones that like blew up. And I was like, all right, I mean, the less I do, the more I get, I guess. Like I'm happy with that.
That's
weird. Right.
So Steve, who's been on several times, he brought up an interesting point. It's like once you start listening to, like, it's a talk show, it's like you're subscribed on iTunes, Google Play, YouTube, whatever, you get your notification and you listen. You actually have to go out of your way to find the social media account, because I've noticed, there was a bit of there's a difference between like our followers and our listens. And so, cause like we get a little less interaction, but I see the views, I see the hits, and I'm like, but that's the way this is. It's different.
Yeah.
We're all figuring it out.
Absolutely. It's fun.
Yeah.
Like you said,
So we have an opportunity here, so I'm going to take it. Before we had CJ on, I was kind of asking him about just kind of some of the things he's been up to lately. Excuse me. It's been a little bit since we talked. So, Ken, you started watching this, and so this is going to be an opportunity to talk about this very, very briefly. So, just without spoilers, or without too many spoilers. Let's say that. We can spoil the first few episodes. Let's leave it at that. CJ was telling me Invincible is pretty good.
Good God, that thing is crazy for a cartoon.
Yeah,
that's the two. You've been watching Boys at all, CJ?
Oh my, yes. I'm still waiting on the new season. Season 3, right, is the next one, right? We just finished season 2. Yeah, yep. I finished season 2 like so quick. I was on top of that. Oh my, what a show! It has a lot of the Boys vibes, which I kind of like. It
feels like someone mixed a birth child of Spider-Man and the Boys into one cartoon.
I was talking about it to actually Gabrielle's brother Kenny. I was like, it feels like a new show, but with like a similar, you know what I mean? It's weird to say. It's like, it feels fresh, but it also takes from like the whole hero, story, hero movie show thing. You know what I'm saying? Like they have those elements, but it feels just raw, brand new.
It has the tropes. Is that what I haven't seen it?
Yeah. I would say at least to me, like I get like, it's another hero TV show, like great. But then they kind of like, they did a lot of things here, a lot of different stuff that, with side stories, as well as, the main story that I really like, that just felt newer to me. You know what I mean? And then the whole thing, I did feel a lot of connection with the Boys too. The Boys is, that show is just nuts in itself.
It's insane. It feels like Kirkman put a zero story in a reality that the rules don't apply. The comic book or movie superhero storytelling where everything's going to be okay, or there's not much collateral damage. Just takes all that and throws it out the window and go, no, this is what would really happen.
Right.
If you had a superhero battle happen in your city, or if you dealt with a guy that had Superman level abilities and decides to not be the good guy, or has ulterior motives without spoiling too much.
Right.
And his son, he doesn't even believe in his son has the potential to do what he needs to get done. And it's just it becomes a great social father-son story of
it definitely tugs at the heartstrings a little bit. You know what I mean? Like you'll see.
That last episode. You see the last episode, CJ?
Yes.
You saw the last episode, right?
Yeah, absolutely. I finished the last episode and I was just sitting there. I'm like, this is hard to watch. Like it was a lot. I mean, viewer discretion advised, people.
Absolutely.
Like that. Like I have a 13-year-old brother, Christopher, man. I don't even know if he should watch the last one. I mean, he's seen way worse, but like I was sitting there like, this is doing a lot to me. I mean, Gabrielle didn't want to finish the season. She watched the first episode and she was like, that's it. Like, I'm okay.
Wow.
Like I can't go through this. It's without spoilers, it's effing crazy. All right.
Wow.
Just go watch this thing. It's nuts.
It's so easy to watch too because it's got enough story plot to it. It keeps you involved the whole way.
Yes.
But as I said too, dude, it's a train wreck watching the whole 8 episodes of it. And it's crazy.
I didn't even know that they were putting more out. Like I finished episode 6 and was like, oh man, I can't wait for season 2 or the next episode. And then I look on my phone on the Amazon Prime, and I see 7. I'm like, I'm sorry, when did this come out? Like immediately had to watch. And then I'm looking through Twitter and I follow the account finally. I'm like, all right, I'm committed. I'm in this. So I'm following the account and they're like, oh my goodness, season finale's coming out tomorrow. I'm like, now there's a season. What is happening? And then the same day, it was that, I think Thursday, I think they released it a day early. So I watched both the same night and I was like, wow, what, like, they really spoiled us. I'm not gonna lie. I really love this show. I think I might have to dip into the comics a little bit on that one, but the cast. How do you like the cast there, Ken? I feel like they got a lot of good people in there.
Oh man, I still have a hard time believing that Stephen Yeun played both Glenn in Walking Dead and plays Rick Grayson is his name, right? If I remember correctly. Like I'm trying to remember like that the name of Invincible. But he's playing like a teenage Mark Grayson, my bad. I keep on getting Nightwing mixed up for some reason because they both have the last name Grayson.
Yeah, Grayson.
And, and Nightwing's Dick Grayson. Yeah, but Mark Grayson, thank you, CJ.
Yeah.
But just like the intensity of him playing a teenager and still trying to figure this whole thing out, Peter Parker style, but then being Glenn inside of Walking Dead, it's like it's two different people to me completely. That just shows like how good, even though it's just voice acting, just how much range Stephen Yeun has as an actor just being in a cartoon. Both characters so dynamically different, but so dynamically cool in their own way too, as well. So I thought that was nails. I mean, the fact they had his father played by
J.K. Simmons.
Yes, J.K. Simmons, J. Jonah Jameson playing his father. Another thing where, J. Jonah Jameson's got some chops to him, but oh my gosh, dude, his dad, Omni-Man, is just he's brutal as you can possibly be. Yeah. When it comes to a superhero /super, I don't want to spoil anything, but
right. Simmons too has played some really hardcore characters. Like even in Spider-Man, he was constantly yelling, like, screaming until his face turned red. And but in what's the other one with the drummer one where he was just a real piece of crap, like just roasting his band or whatever. But even in this one, like you hear him talk through this character. It's like you're a sick mother lover, bro. Yeah. I'm sorry, but I don't mean to stay on this, but like Invincible's nuts, Blade. You got to get on this.
And it's got a great. Go on.
Dude, I was so much more impressed because I just spot read the comic a little bit. I never read all the way through on it. And I kind of read a few key moments inside of the story, but never the whole story because it's a 144 issue storyline inside Image Comics. And, I picked up because Robert Kirkman, I'm such a huge Walking Dead fan. Mm-hmm. I'm going to love this, but if you don't read it the whole way through, you don't get what's actually happening here. And that cartoon's doing the same thing. When you look at the screenshots, look how bright and fluffy this looks because the art in it is absolutely gorgeous too. I mean, they do a really good job portraying Cory Walker's look from the comics into the characters on the cartoon too, which I think is brilliant when you can kind of transfer the comic book image into full animation and you feel like you're still in the same genre. Yeah. And that was just absolutely amazing to look at. And the art in it is just gorgeous.
It ropes you in for sure.
The sky scenes when they're flying through the sky. It's just, it brings you into an element where it's borderline cartoon and borderline reality feeling. Like you feel like you're brought into the story 110% when you're watching this cartoon and feel like, oh man, this would be great cinematic, but they can never do it as a cinematic movie because it would just be like a NC-17X with the amount of gore that they put into this here, dude. I mean, that last episode was literally like a slasher movie of a superhero story.
I mean, I got legitimate goosebumps just thinking about the scene in episode 8. Again, this is no spoilers at all here, but the animation they did with Omni-Man in his monologue and what he was saying, with his face and everything, like you said, the art, the color, everything was just popping, and you're just like, this looks amazing to look at, but I hate it. It's so you'll see, it's really, really well done. Honestly, it's a I don't know if I should say masterpiece just yet because it's just the first season, but it's amazing so far.
It's on its way.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, if you thought that Avengers scene, where they had the aliens attack the city in Avengers was a big deal, just what they did in this cartoon story of two superpowered beings are the two most powerful beings on the planet duke it out, and what the collateral damage is just, oh my gosh, dude, it's you're glad there's no super beings in the world because it would probably end up like this, and it would just be complete damage control nightmare for what they experienced, dude. It's just unbelievable how Robert Kirkman thought this out with the storytelling of like, it's almost like Robert Kirkman saying, that's not superhero storytelling. This wouldn't happen. This is what would really happen if, Superman and Sentry duked it out in the middle of the Colorado mountains. And then all of a sudden the fallout of what happens just from one punch was one of the most amazing scenes or thought processes I've ever seen in comic book storytelling.
Wow,
so good. I mean, Blade, I hope you're convinced to watch this thing now.
I've been convinced to watch it. Like I'm looking forward to it. Yeah. One thing you guys touched on is this cast, and I pulled up the cast list, and it's unbelievable. I mean, like there's a ton of Walking Dead veterans, like right off the bat. Ross Marquand, who I don't remember his Walking Dead character, but he played Red Skull in Infinity War. Lenny James, Ross Marquand. Who do you play in Walking Dead?
Who do you play inside of Invincible?
Oh, he is the Immortal.
Oh, okay.
Lenny James plays Darkwing. Lenny James, of course, is Walking Dead fan favorite. Morgan, right? Michael Cudlitz, also from The Walking Dead, who played. Oh gosh,
bro, they got. Yeah, sorry.
The redhead guy,
Abraham.
Abraham.
Yes.
Yeah. Gosh, who was it? Lauren Cohan, who played Maggie. She plays War Woman. Seth Rogen's in it.
Yep.
Mahershala Ali, who's going to be playing Blade, which I'm very, very excited for. Kari Payton, who played King Ezekiel, and of course he's Cyborg in Teen Titans and Teen Titans Go.
I had no idea all these actors from Walking Dead were in the show besides Steven Yeun.
Zachary Quinto, Mark Hamill.
Wow. The cast is amazing.
Zazie Beetz, Sandra
Spock
Oh,
is in that
and of
thing,
course,
or not the OG Spock, but
Zachary Quinto.
Siler too from Heroes.
Mm-hmm.
Crazy. I mean, it's just nuts.
I mean that voice cast alone, like I mean that's an all-star voice cast.
I don't know if I can request this, but like I demand to be on this podcast again if you guys talk about Invincible.
Let's do it.
Please,
let's do it.
I need to. Yeah, thank you. Because I talk about it with a couple of my buddies, but like we don't deep dissect. You know what I'm saying? Like, and I feel like you need to like process and debrief after these episodes. You know. It's just a lot.
Yes, it's you almost need psychological counseling after watching some of these episodes.
Oh, wow.
I mean, literally, dude. If you have like father-son issues, dude, that episode 8 is like heart-wrenching, man.
Wow.
I mean, especially if you look up to your father and you find out what your father really is and what he thinks about you as a kid. Oh my freaking god, dude.
Wow.
It was traumatizing to watch, even though you're not even related to these people. You're going,
no spoilers.
Like, well, hey, dude, let's go talk this out, man. I know, dude. Without saying too much,
he's getting so excited. It's good though. It's it's doing its purpose. You know what I mean? It's creating this conversation here. It's so freaking good.
I love it. I'm definitely gonna start. I almost started it today, but like I watching the trailers, I was like, I'm not in the mood for anything heavy. Like I need to watch positive things.
Yeah, I was about to say don't put Invincible on if that's what you're not.
No, I wasn't. So like when we were picking to start something new, and it was between Invincible and there's this new to America, I guess, anime called The Way of the House Husband.
Yes,
and that's what we ended up watching was the Way of the House Husband. And I know I think neither of you guys have watched it too much of it yet, but my goodness, I just want to let everyone, I want to let you guys, I want to let everyone listening know, like just start Way of the House Husband, and if you don't think it's hysterical in the first 2 to 3 minutes, because you can literally watch. There's only 5 episodes, but each episode is like 5 episodes in and of itself. So like. Each episode is like 2 minutes. Okay. This
I
anime,
see what you mean.
This anime is not only like a motion comic, but they're like 2 to 3 minute shorts. So each episode is like 5 episodes.
Yeah.
So it goes fast. It's just funny. And that's all I'm going to say. Those are the expectations, but I absolutely fell in love with this anime. And opposite of Invincible here, You want something just lighthearted, nonsense, funny, and it's just he's just going through all these like house husband things. Like he's staying at home and cooking, but he's an ex-Yakuza. So everything is so over the top serious. Like, my wife just forgot her lunch and I gotta go bring it back. And it's so over the top, like how seriously he handles these petty situations. It's hysterical. I've watched it twice all the way through. What?
Nice.
What platforms are on?
Netflix.
Okay, cool.
It's called The Way of the House Husband. I'm serious, like 2 minutes.
They've been coming out with some good stuff, man.
2 minutes. And if you don't like it after 2 minutes, turn it off. It's like that's 2 minutes. I promise. Dude, I bought the manga off of Amazon because I wanted more. That was it. Like you watch the whole series in like an hour, I think tops.
Nice.
That's why I watched it twice. Anyway, I got really excited because like this is like a new thing that I'm really excited about.
It looks so good. I mean, I was talking about it last week too. I watched the hey, what's going on?
It's my daughter Michaela coming in the picture there.
What's going on, Michaela?
Come in. Did her?
But yeah, I was oh, man, there's so many new shows and like, have you guys watched and/or finished Love, Death, and Robots and everything like that on Netflix? Those little shorts.
Those things are awesome, but I've not seen them all.
I would go through all those. They're
shorts. I don't know if I realized that.
Yeah, they're all just like
15 minutes, right?
Something like that. I think the longest one was like 23 or something crazy, but like they're all just these shorts. Some of them are animated, some of them are like live action animation kind of thing. But yeah, those are really good. But Netflix has been coming out a lot of good stuff. But The Way of the Household Husband has been on the radar. Like that, it popped up on a number of different like fan accounts. I follow like this I think it's like called like Fan Geek Realm or something like that, where this guy just posts all this, Marvel comic book stuff, whatever's, good to watch. And he said like, yeah, you guys got to watch Way of Household Husband. It's so good. I absolutely love it. It's funny. And I love being able to watch, because when I go to sleep, like I need the TV on. I grew up on a busy street in New York. Like I need noise sound
to sleep.
Right.
So I have the TV running all night. So it's it's Netflix, it's Hulu, but I like it to be lighthearted things like The Office, or Teen Titans or Archer. Even though maybe that's not lighthearted, but it's not super serious. Right. But you know what I mean? Like it's funny. It's not depressing. It's not It's not what you guys are saying about Invincible or it's not like watching The Boys, So like, I mean, The Way of the House Husband, it's not long enough, I guess, to fall asleep to.
Are you guys big on like anime, all the anime TV shows and like all those, I guess is it more Japanese show TV? Genre?
Anime. Yeah, it's right. Japanese animation. Right. I'll let Ken answer before
I'm more of a traditional comic fan and traditional cartoon fan. I mean, I obviously watched animes I didn't even know were animes when I was a kid, like Voltron and Speed Racer and like Battle of the Planets. But I'm like more of an 80s kid.
Okay.
And so like it was G.I. Joe, Transformers, Thundercats, there was a lot of cartoons that are still like, with Voltron and Speed Racer and, Battle of the Planets were considered animes in today's standards, but back then they were just cartoons. So if it's good and I can watch it, I don't care what the genre is, as long as that it got my attention. Like it cracks me up. I'll do a guilty admission. Like me and my daughter were home watching last night. We were on the Peacock. Have you seen that new NBC app?
Yeah,
it's just all NBC based, and we turned on the new Punky Brewster, and we were stuck watching. Like we got into 3 episodes of it, and I go, "Oh my gosh, dude, I'm actually enjoying this." And I haven't remember watching the original Punky Brewster back in the '80s. And I'm going, I love how they're mixing the '80s genre with modern day issues inside a Punky Brewster story. And I'm kind of going, all right, it's sad. I don't know why I like this, but I'm going to keep on watching more. Kind of crazy.
Well, for me, I was never like, I don't consider myself like a big anime fan. Like I won't pretend to be. But I do watch some anime. of course, like what really my gateway anime, I guess we'll call it here, was Dragon Ball Z.
Nice.
I love Dragon Ball Z. Like I collect Dragon Ball Z, and I would show you my Dragon Ball Z stuff right here, but I don't want to derail this too much. But I love Dragon Ball Z. That got me into Sailor Moon, which is, I don't know, maybe that's weird, but I love Sailor Moon. Sailor Moon is awesome. I watched Cowboy Bebop for the first time fairly recently. I also liked Outlaw Star, Big O.
Big O was awesome.
Big O, yeah, that was good. It was like James Bond meets like giant mech
robots.
Yeah. I don't know what to call it, but like, yeah, I mean, I'm open to watching more. Like, I mean, it's good stuff.
I was gonna say, the only reason I ask is because I was never like a huge anime, person either. I will not call myself a fanatic or that. I'd be lying to everybody if I was like, yeah, anime's great. Like, go watch this. Like, I'm still getting used to. But my friend Kenny, who we run the podcast and everything, Attack on Titan was my first anime.
Okay,
and like blew me out of the water.
Yeah,
like,
I haven't seen that.
Oh my goodness, Blade, please. You gotta get on that too. Ken, if you haven't either, please. Like,
I know it's really popular.
I mean,
I've seen a little bit of Attack on Titan, and it's crazy the premise behind it.
Right. And the plot just gets like crazy. I mean, you thought Invincible was like, the plot was really good and just nuts, and like Attack on Titan to me, I mean, it is better than a handful of a couple of my favorite movies. Like,
wow.
Yeah, the plot, and again, you got to watch it in the, Japanese voice actors, English subtitles, to really get the emotion, the feel of all these characters and like what their monologues are and like how they sound. Because anything, if it's English, I don't know what it is, we can't do it as nearly as good or nearly like give the emotion away as these actors, man. Like, they hit every mark. Like, I was brought to tears during one monologue during this show, and like it blew me away. Attack on Titan is one of my favorite shows.
Wow,
hands down. Yeah, I know that was a lot, but like it's crazy. Yeah, it's really,
it's a very
really
survivalist show, right? Where these giants are taking like more or less over. Well, there's like, they're isolated in a community, and there's these giants.
You don't even know, bro. You don't even know.
That's what I'm saying, dude. It's like that. I gotta see more of it.
You like get through like season 1 and then hit my line, bro, and we'll talk, because then you'll be like, what the F? Like, what's going on? What exactly? And then I'll tell you, and then I'll say it again. I'll say, you don't even know. Send. I'll just be out. It's so good. It's so good.
So you said this is better than some of your favorite movies. So what are those?
So I mean, there's a handful of movies, right, that are
no
like,
pressure. You don't have to pick one. Like,
no. And realistically, what I mean by that is like, there are people who will write a 2-hour film. You know what I mean? Like, and have like really good plot and like go through all of this story arc and everything like that. And like this show, what it gave me in one season is like better, in my opinion, than what some, directors, producers, story writers give me in like a whole, 2.5 hour film.
Okay.
You know what I mean? Like, there are just some, like the other day I watched, unfortunately, and I may get some hate from some Tom Clancy people, but Tom Clancy's the new Michael B. Jordan one. I don't know if you guys know that one. I think it's
no, I saw the trailers though.
Right. You know what I'm talking about. It's a new one with Michael B. Jordan. And then my stepmother wanted to watch it. Joanne wanted to watch it. I was shocked because she usually doesn't like the blood, the gore, the shooting. But oh my God, I hate to say it, just a terrible film. Like, I could not sit through that thing.
I'm glad you said it. I know, I think it looks stupid. So, I mean, that doesn't surprise me.
I'm like, this is the same thing as like a John Wick meets it's all the same. Like, I really, it's hard. I feel like we're losing a little bit of the original storytelling, all these, that's why I love Invincible so much. It feels fresh to me, even though people say it's another, superhero thing. But like, yeah, they did it right. So that feels fresh to me. You know what I mean? Like an Attack on Titan 2, it just felt so new, so like different, mind-blowing. And that might just be me too. I might just be into like the whole thriller mystery kind of crazy story arc, like what the hell is gonna happen kind of thing. But I don't know, I just think, even Love, Death and Robots, these like 23-minute shorts, these 10-15-minute shorts, I'm like, who the hell wants to sit through a 2.5-hour film when they give me all of this in a 20-minute short? You know what I mean? Disney's been doing it for how many years, and they make people cry with these shorts with all their little
Pixar,
you know what I mean?
Things. Yeah,
right, exactly. The Pixar shorts.
It's just about a little bow bun, but like you're now having an existential crisis.
It's so true. It's so true.
It's storytelling. That's the power of storytelling. So yeah, I totally get what you're saying. So what are a couple of your favorite movies?
Oh, geez. Now you're really putting me on the spot. The first one that always comes to mind is just because I always reference it a bunch of times is Good Will Hunting. I'm real big into it.
Oh, yeah. Lance isn't here. Oh, man. Wow.
He missed the good episode. You missed the good one there, Lance. But that's number one, always comes to brain. And this will probably sound funny, but The Greatest Showman, starring like Hugh Jackman and everything like that.
Yeah, that wasn't bad.
Just to me, because I really like musicals and like the dancing and blah blah blah. In terms of a story, like it's a cute little story kind of deal, but I literally started crying within the first 5 minutes of that film. Like I was in tears. I had to leave the theater at the end of the movie because I was just crying so much. I'm like, I don't know why I'm crying. Like I'm just so happy. Like it's just weird. But that one definitely comes to mind as well. Oh geez, you really got me. Every Lord of the Ring, really, like The Hobbit. Love The Hobbits, of course. Yeah, like most of the Marvel films, if I had to rank them, you know what I mean? Like Infinity War, Endgame. Logan. How can I forget Logan that I have on Blu-ray DVD, and that's my favorite actor who in the world. Like I went to a Hugh Jackman concert.
Oh, you did?
I was in the nosebleeds.
Wow.
And he was taking a break on stage, just like, chatting with the audience, doing his thing. He takes a sip of water and it's silent. And I just scream as loud as I can, I love you, Hugh. And he just looks in my direction and just goes, I love you too. Everybody goes nuts. It was so funny. But
Dude, did you ever try to find that clip online?
No, I did not. I should, though. I hope it's there.
I guarantee you it's out there. You got to find that. When you find that, send that to me.
I will. I definitely.
Where did you go? Like Madison Square Garden or something?
Yeah, it was literally in MSG. He was doing his, I forget the name of the tour. I have a shirt. Yeah.
I remember when he was doing it. It was 2015 or 16 or...
No, this was after his Greatest Showman thing. This was fairly recent, but I knew he did do a tour before that as well.
Okay.
So you're probably thinking of that one too. But he's just a crazy talented individual. His singing, his acting, and even The Prestige with Christian Bale and him. Like that's a number one movie up there for me too. Like,
I haven't seen that.
I don't know it's good. That's a real mind-boggling, twister, weird movie. But The Prestige, it's a very good film.
Okay, I have to check that out. Well, that's some good stuff. I do like Good Will Hunting. And that was on one of Lance's top. What were we doing, Ken? Did we do a top movies thing or something, or why? Or no, we did like isolation movies, right? Was that what it was?
Yeah, like movies to watch during the pandemic.
Yeah,
right?
Got you. Yeah.
So we brought that up, and it's kind of an ongoing joke. What were you saying?
Do you have the Jackman story too, Boyd?
Oh, what?
Do you have the Hugh Jackman story too, dude? Weren't you at that the Tempe?
Don't tell me
Marketplace premiere X-Men 3 or something like that? Or
for Wolverine Origins, the world premiere for Wolverine Origins was in Tempe, Arizona, and I went there, and Hugh Jackman was there. We were like right up front, you know, and I paid way too much money for these tickets that were free, you know. We didn't. He was a great guy. Like, he was great on stage, and you know, he talked to everybody. I didn't talk to him directly, but I'm a big Deadpool fan. Or I was, you know, before everything they did with Deadpool recently. But of course, this was the first movie appearance of Deadpool. It was played by Ryan Reynolds, of course. So there was this group of girls standing, young teenage girls, right next to me, and I knew they probably liked Ryan Reynolds, and it was Hugh Jackman, Ryan Reynolds. So I wanted to get Deadpool's autograph, like, if nothing else. So I just started chanting. I was like, Ryan, and I got them all to do it, and I knew that would bait him over. And sure enough, Ryan Reynolds heard all the girls, and he came over, and I was able to shove my little magazine, you know, in between them, and I made sure to reach out, and I touched his elbow. He was wearing a little leather jacket.
Wow!
So I touched Ryan Reynolds' elbow, and I got his autograph. He seemed okay. I mean, like, he was just kind of like, yeah.
He was all right. He's a cool guy.
But Hugh Jackman seemed cool. Like, he seemed authentically, you know, like, thankful. To be there. He rode out on his motorcycle. That's how he made his entrance. He was riding a motorcycle, like he was riding in that Wolverine movie. Too bad the movie sucks.
Clip of that. I was about to say, it's too bad it was terrible. Yeah, everybody hated that thing.
Yeah, I shouldn't have spent $400 on those tickets on Craigslist. That was.
You know what? You touched Ryan Reynolds. That's true, right? So you practically, you're good, man. You touched Deadpool, or the new Deadpool, whatever you want to say it, with Ryan Reynolds.
And it was a terrible Deadpool too.
Yeah.
Well, that one. He fixed it later, right? So it was okay.
Yeah. It's so funny that you say, because Ryan Reynolds seems like the guy who seems pretty genuine in real life as well. Like, I know he, you know, with his posts and his commercials and everything, he's always like comedic, like, it feels real. Like, what he's saying is just like, this is who I am. I'm Ryan Reynolds. Like, that's my personality. But you don't think you got that vibe from him when you were?
It was quick. So, like, I'm not sitting here saying like, oh yeah, he's an asshole or anything. Like, I don't know. It was just quick. It was just kind of like, it was a quick little thing, and that's fine. It happens. I mean, like, especially like a celebrity, got to sign all these autographs. You know, like, you got to get through it, and I respect that. So, like, I'm not hating. So don't. So Ryan, please, if you want to be on Nightcap chat, like, you're more than welcome.
Come on, Ryan Reynolds, get on this Nightcap chat, brother. Bring your aviation gin, sponsor us. Come on,
I'll try it. I don't like gin, but I'll try it. You know, I do like their little feuds on social media. Hugh Jackman,
they're too good.
And Ryan Reynolds.
It's so weird. Like, I mean, the city's just crazy. Like, I've probably walked into so many celebrities and everything like that. I probably don't even know, but my college, or my community college professor for acting actually lives across, or I don't even know if it's across the street or the building over to where Hugh Jackman's New York City apartment is. So he'll see Hugh just walking his dogs or whatever, and like, you know, my professor's name's Victor. He'll just, you know, say hey or whatever. Like, and my professor's like, yeah, he's a super nice guy. Like, just does his thing, walks his dogs, like, you know, picks up after the dogs, which is great.
That is good. You know, that is good.
But yeah, he lives apparently, that I think my professor said, in like these iceberg apartments is what they call it, because it kind of looks like it's an all clear building and whatever, and it looks like an, I don't know, iceberg. But the story behind those is, once you rent them or whatever, you know, buy your lease or whatever it is, the apartment comes in like all white, like it's just clear, like there's no furniture, there's nothing, and then you, the buyer, just, you know, like any other place, I would guess, like, just put in all these new stuff, you know what I mean? Like, you decorate it the way you want to decorate it, like it's just blank, you know what I mean? Yeah, and you go in there and you kind of just spruce it up or whatever. But I don't know, I guess it's like that with any other place, but I don't you know what I mean? Maybe there's more artistic freedom or something.
Yeah, for sure. No, I respect that. All right. Before we wrap this up, I want to see if
Quick New York question.
yeah.
It's probably pretty pointless and pretty stupid, but I watch a lot of Impractical Jokers.
Okay.
And it seems like they're all through Manhattan and all through New York all the time. And, the different things that they're doing just to have fun with each other.
Yeah.
Do you ever see those guys doing their Impractical Joke, like taping or anything around the city? Because it seems like they're freaking everywhere.
Yeah. I haven't specifically seen them. I don't know if any of our family, I feel like one of my friends may have walked into them one time just kind of doing their thing. But,
are they a big deal? Do people know who they are by now?
I think that's the new thing now.
That people got to be in on what's happening now.
Exactly. I think there was like a big thing on that too. Once they were, they came out with whatever season there, everybody started to like know who they were. So every time they would try to do like their prank or whatever, it would just go south because they're like, oh, you're, whatever from Impractical Joke. You know what I mean? So I think they're trying to do something different with it, or I don't know. They always change their look, cut their hair, you know what I mean? So they don't look like themselves. But I specifically haven't seen them. No, I've seen Ross from Friends. I forget what's his name, David Schwimmer, right? Yeah. I've seen him in an ice cream shop. Nice, I saw the guy from This Is Us who plays Kevin. I don't know if you guys have seen that.
I don't even know what that is.
Yeah, it's the ABC, I think, show that's like always super sad and just I don't think
my
you
wife
should watch
loves that
this.
show.
Okay, there you go. Yeah, we walked past Kevin. I was just like, oh, you're Kevin, like from This Is Us. Yeah, I've seen him. I mean, I've met a couple of people, but not Hugh Jackman yet. Haven't come face to face with him. That's on the bucket list.
Yeah. That would be great. Okay. Let's see what we can squeeze in here.
Okay.
Favorite video game of all time. We don't have to talk in depth about it, but if you had to pick one.
Oh man, I gotta go last. You gotta give me a second to think. Favorite video game of all time.
What about if you can pick two?
Oh, jeez. I think the first one that came to my mind like immediately was just Galaga for whatever reason.
Wow.
I don't know. Yeah. I played it in a barcade once when Gabrielle lived in Jersey City for a little bit, and I kind of got hooked on it again. But I think that game is just choice. Like it's like I could sit there, I could play it for hours. It really doesn't bother me. You know what I mean? Like I had a high score in the barcade there. It's such a funny story. I had the high score. I put my name in, and I had some drinks, played a couple of the games, came back at the end of the night, and some mother lover man beat my high score and then put his name as Dad. Okay, so like he sunned me. You know what I'm saying? Like he or she made me their son. Like he was like, yeah, Dad beat you your high score.
Are you serious?
Yeah, I was kind of like,
it's
wow,
like, who's your daddy?
like that. Yeah.
Did you?
But yeah.
Did you get your high score back?
I tried, and I think we ran out of quarters, and we were supposed to go to a different club, and I was like, I'm gonna let this ruin my night. My wife had my wife was like, please forget about it. I'm like, how could I forget the blatant disrespect that this person just did to me, man? Calling himself Dad in a public arcade arena, you know what I mean? It was
wow.
Yeah, it was a lot.
I'm glad I snuck this question in. we got a good little story out of that.
Yeah. But yeah, Galaga's definitely up there, and I don't know if I could pick two. I'm not sure. I think that's hard. I mean the game. I've been addicted to like so many games in my young years that I've been on this planet. I used to be crazy addicted to FIFA, but I had to like really put a hold on that because I punched a hole in my wall and everything. So I was like, right, maybe I was like, maybe it's time to hang this up and put it away. But yeah, I mean, I don't know. Galaga's the first one that comes out. I mean, CODs are great. I like those. Jeez, I don't know. What's your favorite video game there, Blade, of all time?
Oh, well, I think we've talked about this on Nightcap chat. My I consider my number one favorite game of all time is Super Mario 64. Because I don't think there's a game that I've gone back and just played. I just played through it like a couple months ago again. Nice. I don't know how many times I've played through from beginning to end, but there is not a single game on the planet that I have gone back and played through.
Yeah.
So I have to give it to Super Mario 64. Is it nostalgia? Probably. But I mean, I like it. I enjoy it. Yeah.
Yeah.
What was yours, Ken? Is it Tecmo Bowl? Was that what it was?
It was Tecmo Bowl as a kid, but Madden, I just can't stop playing. Okay. It's crazy, dude. I've never been addicted to a football game like Madden. I mean, every year it comes out, I got to get the new rookie class, dude. I got to see what, see what Trevor Lawrence is going to be able to do with the Jaguars and, and stupid stuff like that. It's all just, it's just fun. I love to see break records, which is stupid. I know what you mean, like breaking records. I love to see all the NFL records and see if I can break the records in a season. And it is unfortunately way too easy. Do you know what I mean? To when you're playing at the mid-level, because I don't like losing playing Madden, which is kind of funny too. So I kind of like make it like, okay, I'm not going to do easy anymore, but I'm not going to do all Madden. Like I'm not ready to go to the Madden tournament in New York City and play against this 13-year-old kid that's going to whoop my ass 77-0.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Oh,
but
that's not even like
it's still so much fun to play.
Yeah. I thought of one, and I know my cameras, I'm going to keep it off because it's bothering me now and it's going to create some lag. But before we end, Assassin's Creed was definitely up there as well. Yeah.
Okay.
I played maybe 1, 2, 3, 4, and then all the other ones that came out, then they started to get pretty bad. But like the one with where Ezio's old, I forget the name. I think it's not Brotherhood. The one before, I don't know, whatever.
Yeah.
But Assassin's Creed games are definitely up there. I can go back, play that whole storyline again. For sure.
No, that's awesome. I haven't played any of those. And maybe
good.
I should.
I feel like you'd like those. Yeah.
I don't like sneaking around is why I just want to run in and do things. That's what I liked about Horizon Zero Dawn is like you have the option to sneak around or you can just run in and do it. And I would do it. I was always, occasionally, like if I didn't feel like finding something. Like,
so you like Doom? Do you like Doom? Just going in there, blasting stuff, shooting everything now?
No, I didn't get into them. The latest one, I was watching the trailer at E3, and like I don't want to sound like a prude, so don't get me wrong when I say this, but I was watching the trailer, and I was like, why is it so gory? Like it's just like so gory, like for no reason.
Too much. I gotcha.
I don't know. And like I don't care about gore or blood or anything. It just didn't seem like it had a point. I'm open to playing it though. Like I gotcha. I'll play whatever. I played. Gosh, I mean, like that reminds me of like Is it Wolfenstein? Wolfenstein?
Something like that. Yeah, I know what you're talking about. Wolfenstein.
I haven't played the new ones, but I played the. Ken, you probably know. Like I played the original one for MS DOS. Did you ever play that one?
Nice. Yes.
That's the only one I played.
Dude, you know what? My only problem with the first person shooter games is I love looking at them and watching other people play, but I can't stand trying to look at the screen, then look at the corner and try to figure out where I'm at when something's coming at me. Like where I'm supposed to go. Do you know what I'm talking about? Like there's got you got your little map in the right hand corner, then you got you right in front of you. And then you're trying to like look and going, okay, oh man, there's people approaching. And I'm kind of going, I'm looking straight ahead, man, because I watch side scrolling games like Mario Brothers and Pitfall and Spider and like all the games that were like so 1980s and early 90s before PlayStation came out and changed the game and the computer platforms. Like Doom, I think really changed the whole element of video game playing. Of you being that first person shooter. Wasn't Doom the first video game to do that kind of stuff, more or less? Or am I?
You might be
even predating.
No, I think that's correct. I think it really, kind of created this genre of first person shooter. So I think that's absolutely correct.
Retweet.
Contra and Super Contra all day long.
Yeah.
But doing James Bond, I'm going, dude, where am I at? Even the Star Wars Battlefronts, I'm going, I have no clue where I'm at. I'm just going to die here. So much fun to look at, though.
Those are great too.
For sure.
Battlefront games.
I think we're running a little long on this, but so we're going to go ahead and wrap this up. Far cry from the 15-minute interview that I promised here. CJ, for people who want to check out Views from the Ceiling Fan, where can they find that?
Yeah, absolutely. YouTube, Spotify, Apple Podcasts, and I think that's about it. I mean, yeah, you can go on our Instagram and our Twitter. It should just be like Views from the Fan. Yeah, Views from the Fan 2, I believe, is the Instagram. I think Twitter is just Views Fan, but we haven't put anything on there, and yeah, I don't know how long. So just check out YouTube, Spotify, and Apple Podcasts. You'll find us.
And I'll get some of those links from him so we can put that in the description of this episode. But CJ, thank you so much for joining us on this episode 100
Thank
special.
you guys. Yes. Congrats on 100. Congrats on 2 years. I definitely want to come back, talk about some Invincible and more. But yeah, I appreciate you guys having me on here. This was a blast. I had a real good time. Nightcap chat is where it's at. Try saying that 3 times fast.
Nightcap
Come on now.
Where it's at.
There you go, baby.
Go. DJ, dude, nice meeting, man. It's awesome talking with you, and look forward to talking to you again, dude.
Absolute, Ken. Absolutely, man. I'm excited. I'll be seeing y'all soon. I think definitely pack it in soon here. Get ready for the work day tomorrow. But yeah, thank you guys so much for this. This was a blast.
And thanks again to CJ from Views from the Ceiling Fan podcast for joining us. We'll be including that information in the where you can check them out in the description of this week's episode. But we appreciate you all joining us this week. We're at Nightcap Chat on Facebook and Nightcap_chat on Instagram. You can find more on Drona Comics and DronaComics.com or Drona Comics, all one word, on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter. Appreciate you all listening. We love you. Be safe. And we will catch you all next week.